Hello and welcome everybody. Today we're going to have a discussion about the good things of difficult times. So if you're interested, stay tuned, and as always I'm going to pray for you at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Okay, let me explain, because I know it may sound different, weird, or maybe challenging. But when bad things happen, when difficult time comes, let me rather state it, when difficult time comes, that is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you go to 1 Corinthians, then you see when Paul was struggling, then the Father said to him that my strength is made manifest in your weakness. So basically, when you are weak, I am at the strongest. You see, so if you want the power of Christ to flow through you and into you, then difficult times will or must bring for you joy, because of the strength that you're going to receive, the strength that will be made manifest in you, not your own strength. And then I'm also going to take us to a chapter in the Bible that for many years it was challenging for me to read it, because I always thought that difficult times was an attack of the enemy to bring me down and to separate me from my Creator. And I'm going to take us to James 1. I'm going to read for us from verse 2. It says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." Wow. Count it all joy when you fall in various temptations. Now, if you fall into temptations, let's say you've lacked, you are hungry and you are tempted to steal, that must be joyous for you, in the sense of that you can work your faith. Now, it's the same when you are weak. Your faith has to be strong, so that Yeshua can stand up and say, I'm going to intervene into your situation. You see, so when you go through difficult times today, I know there's people that is depressed. I just feel that there's a cloud of darkness over many people, even nations, as they are uncertain about the future of themselves, their children, and even their country. But the best thing that we can do is not to fear, but to revert back to faith and say, Father, I don't know the way. I don't know the source. But what I know is that when I put my faith in you, I'm not going to be ashamed. I know that things will work out how it's supposed to work out. And then I just see how countries are going to return back to the Lord. Now, it's very important. Many times we've got leaders and they say they are Christian, but their fruit is not there. There's no fruit. It's quite the opposite. And I think many times to mislead the Christian people, they would say that they are Christian. But are they spirit-filled? I doubt it. Many of the leaders. But the thing is that we need to look for in our countries is not to trust in democracy, but to trust in the Father. And the way we're going to do that is when we start to stand up and put people in place that can hear the word of Yahweh and act upon it. Meaning they're obedient as well. It's one thing to hear the voice, but it's another thing to be obedient to the voice. Let's take you back to Samuel. When Samuel was a prophet, none of his words fell to the ground. Meaning every prophecy he spoke came to pass. Yet the people of Israel said, we rather want a king like the other countries. And what happened? They got Saul. And the wars came and they were defeated. Then the rescue plan came again, which was King David. And that is somebody that clearly you can, from the get-go, when you start to read about David, you can see that he was spirit-filled. The Father worked in him. He heard the voice. He was obedient to the voice. But also he had tremendous faith. How could he win Goliath? He wasn't even afraid of Goliath. He said, did you hear the words he's speaking? And he's like, wow, this is going to be an easy battle because of the violation of the words that Goliath spoke. And he said, well, it's not me that's going to fight. I'm just going to be there. And we're going to get the victory because he had such a relationship, because he was spirit-filled. So let's turn back and let's put people in places. And I'm not speaking just in government, in every part, whether it's a school board, whether it's a town council, whether it's people in the church. Don't look for people that has got stature and wealth. Look for people that hear the voice of our Creator, that are spirit-filled and that is obedient to the word. That is it. They don't have to be wealthy. They don't have to look the part. But if they hear the voice and are obedient, that's the people we need to put in place. And in your life, I want to duplicate this also into your life. Pray that you can hear the voice of the Spirit so that you'll be obedient in your difficult times. Father, I pray that we will not revert back to worldly systems that don't work, that has been tried and tested and failed over and over again. We want to put our trust in you, our faith in you, because you are our God, our Creator. You are King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and therefore we worship you. But we want to hear your voice and be obedient because we want to bring heaven to earth. Your kingdom come, your will be done. I thank you for your love and I thank you for your mercy. And I thank you for that in the name of Yeshua. Be blessed.